the earring info. Because my rhodochrosite necklace sold out, we wanted to feature one more. This one actually has the turquoise in it. So we're at $99.90 on this, and it's 5 flex.
Okay, and so here again, if you know, the people that were fortunate enough to get in on that crazy buy, yeah. This is another fabulous buy. This is one of those things, again, you couldn't build it for this. What makes it so unique, though, is the rhodochrosite. And I won't have any more rhodochrosite. I've got, like I said, we're now finishing up just on December. I'm already working on February of 2019, wow. Okay? Doing designs to actually write those shows. With the rhodochrosite, we've got just a very few cabochons left. And I'm going to be doing just a few cabs, like a simple ring. I've got I think a cuff bracelet and a few things that we'll have that will go back for this. But this is you know, you're seeing the last of the last, right? I cannot buy this material. You can't buy it. We just got this by just a fluke. One of the nice things about being in the business, as long as I've been in the business, and because we all deal with a mining community, but we're also major manufacturers. Everything that you see from us, we cut ourselves. All the silver work, we do all the silver work, okay? We don't farm it out to other individuals. We're actually the ones that are doing it. We work right from the rough materials. If tomorrow you told me, I don't care if you wanted to spend a tremendous amount of money, right? And you said, Jay, but I want rhodochrosite, and I don't care, you know, if you can make them $2,000, $3,000 a necklace. I wouldn't even, as much as I'd love to take your order and your money, wouldn't be able to do it because
you simply don't have it.
You cannot get it.
Crazy.
Now, there are, we had a viewer, and I just love these calls. I really love these calls. And I got a call one time, and I got a follow-up email that said, in Silverton, Colorado, there's a rhodochrosite mine, which I've been trying to check out. And they just pretty much, I mean, they have more specimens, that type of thing. So you can find rhodochrosite, and like you can find lapis around the world, but more like specimens and stuff. The majority of all the rhodochrosite that you've ever seen, if you've ever bought rhodochrosite, all came out of one mine that's in a big cavern in Argentina. And what happened is about, guys, it's probably going on 10 years ago. The Argentinian government said, hey, look, you cannot export the rough material any longer. Even at that time, it was very expensive, but they wouldn't allow you to export the rough. So that means that the only way you can bring it out is you have to bring it out in a finished product. So, of course, I don't have shops in Argentina.
Right.
And the majority of the people that I know, because I don't know anybody in Argentina that has a shop, okay? So the thing is, you can't get the rough material. And when you do see it, if you see it in Tucson, somebody might have like a few kilos, and it'll be like crazy, be more expensive than gold.
All right, so this is the only other rhodochrosite we have. The difference is it's got those beautiful dollops of turquoise in it, 18 inches, 2 3/4 silver to work with, and 5 flex pays on that. I have some of these left, so you're actually okay in this one. I have another update.